MVP. So my name is Rasmus Thøgersen, and I'm the executive director here at the Museum of Danish America. Tonight my main job is to be grateful. And I'm going to be speaking a little bit in Danish and a little bit in English, because we have a lot of Danes here. So, jeg hedder Rasmus Thøgersen. Til alle jer, som kun taler dansk, så er mit arbejde her i aften at sige tak til en masse mennesker. Så det er det, jeg kommer til at gøre. I'm going to list a bunch of names here for all the wonderful people and organizations that have helped us making this exhibit become a reality. First of all, I want to thank the Danish Embassy in DC, especially Niels Ulrik Plesner Olsen. He's a senior advisor in the Defense Department, and he was our main contact person at the embassy, and he was fantastic to get to know in this process. I want to thank Inutek Holm Olsen. He's also working at the embassy, and he knows everything there is to know about Greenland. I want to thank Ole Gulager. He is the director of the Narsarsuaq Museum in Greenland. Jakob Tøstrup Kjærsgaard, and he's a historian at the Kystmuseum in Frederikshavn in Denmark. I want to thank our previous scan design interns, and that is Niels Peter Gade and Mads Henriksen, for all the work they did on this exhibit. I want to give a special thanks to Jakob Panton, who's with the Danish Wounded Warriors, and he's the reason we have some wonderful guests here tonight that I will introduce a little bit later. And I also want to thank all the wonderful people, from the foot soldiers to the prime ministers, who helped contribute to making this exhibit a reality. And they contributed with stories and ideas and feedback, and it's been a wonderful process for us to make this thing become what it is now. I do want to say one thing about all the stories. One thing that's hard when you make an exhibit like this is to include all the stories. So if you feel like you want to share some of your stories with us, we have a whiteboard over there. Write something you want us to include in the exhibit, and we'll do that. Det jeg lige sagde var, at det er svært at sige tak til alle. Det er svært at få alles historier med. Så hvis I har en historie, I vil fortælle om danske, amerikanske militære relationer, så kan I skrive den på det der, den tavle derovre, som er den retning. I also want to recognize some of the major sponsors that helped us make this exhibit a reality. We got a major grant from Humanities Iowa. That is the state-based affiliate of the National Endowment for the Humanities. I want to thank the Albert Ravenhund Fund in Seattle. I want to give a special thanks to the T.G. Jensen family in honor of all those who served to protect America. And then I want to thank Peter and Irma Ørum for their support. And I know Peter and his daughter Krista, they're in the crowd somewhere. Can you guys give them applause? Thank you, Peter. And I also want to thank Ole and Eva Sindberg for their support of this exhibit, and give Ole a round of applause. Ole's brother has quite a remarkable story. His name is Bernhard Sindberg. I wish that more people in Denmark knew about him, and I hope this exhibit can help contribute to that. There's a little bit about him up in that exhibit. It's quite wonderful. I encourage you strongly to talk to Ole and hear a little bit more about his amazing brother. It really is remarkable. So I actually would like us to give a round of applause for Bernhard as well. And now I'm going to introduce one of our VIPs, the Deputy Chief of Mission at the Danish Embassy, Lars Bo Møller. You want to step up and say a couple of words? Yeah, Lars Bo fra ambassaden.
Thank you, Rasmus. It's always very strange to be presented as a VIP. But anyway, my name is Lars Bo Møller. I'm Deputy Chief of Mission at the Danish Embassy in Washington, D.C. I promised to bring personal greetings from three very good friends of the museum, namely Lynette Rasmussen from Iowa, and Mr. Bruce Laursen from Omaha, as well as Anna Holiday from Houston, Texas. They would have loved to be here personally, but again, I promised to bring their greetings. We just finalized our annual meetings for our honorary consuls in the United States, so that's really Denmark and the US being brought together in Washington, D.C. So if I look a little bit tired, you know why. Anyway, I'm really honored to be here tonight at this great museum. We Danes, we are weird in some ways, and sometimes it's a little bit difficult to explain to Americans. First, and what is very fashionable around here is the concept of hygge, or hygge, as it very often comes out here. And if you want to learn more, you can go to the boutique or the shop here at the museum. But I have to tell that my beloved wife, who couldn't come here, she sometime back in the past was a college student at Dana College in Blair. And she never in her life, she states, had as many æbleskiver and frikadeller meatballs and experienced as much hygge as that year in Blair. Anyway, the second concept I would like to mention, and I talked with Kara at the Genealogical Center up in Elkhorn about it, that is the Jantelov. Basically, that means that you are not allowed to brag. Difficult for an American to understand. But anyway, I have to admit, I have to say that to be here and to be at this museum and at this exhibition that really presents Denmark at its best, that really makes me proud, and I'm ready to go to the Jante jail for that pride. Denmark is a small country. Denmark is a small country, but we find it extremely difficult to contribute to the world affairs, and we emphasize global cooperation and global organizations. We are a chapter member of NATO and the UN. But some bilateral relationships really need to be nurtured in a particular way. And the United States of America is the most important strategic ally of Denmark. We work hard to enforce and reinforce and develop those ties. That is regard to trade, education, culture. But maybe the most visible area is our common effort to solve the most pressing problems of the world, also when it comes to the difficult choices that involve military force and the costs that may involve. We don't go into those efforts to impress the United States of America. We do it because we think that we have a common responsibility to help solving problems around the world. But we also know that that effort sometimes comes with a cost. And I think the wonderful exhibition up on here in the United States, it would be the second floor for the Danes, it's first etage. That is a testimony to those costs. And I'm extremely proud that here tonight are two of the Danish veterans that has served together with Danish troops in the United States. I know they'll be up here in just a second, but I think we should give them applause already by now. Okay, I promised Rasmus only to talk for a couple of minutes. I'm already almost there. But once again, it makes me extremely proud to be here in Elkhorn and the counties around here as well, at this impressive building, at this museum, and to belong to a nation whose, you can't say it's native sons, but people with a Danish origin feel it important to make exhibitions like this and to contribute to the future development and close ties between our two nations. Thank you so much for that. It's fantastic being here.
All right, Commander Jim O'Keefe, would you like to say a word or two? No? Oh, then you have to now. You're all dressed up for it. Give him a hand.
I have to reread this to make sure I'm not bragging. Stay. Set, go. Good afternoon. Mijn naam is Commander Jim O'Keefe. Ik ben president of the New Century Art Guild. Ik ben pensioneerd helikopterpiloot die vlogen. Wat we gaan is welkom to de danske we gaan get Våpenskøn. Jeres indsats aføffer som lød i kampen for frihed og rundt omkring i Fordanden. Jeg er selvfølgelig til at lære jer at kære of høre jeres so historia. Now, done.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Done. It's about like giving birth. So, welcome, and welcome to the Traveling Vikings. Nice to see you again today. The New Century Art Guild, I give it 20 seconds, so it don't sound like bragging. We teach kids with PTSD art. We sell their art and give them all the money, keep none. We use them as instructors, and it keeps them from committing suicide. We've been doing it for 10 years. I didn't start it, I'm just the president. But I wouldn't be standing here talking to you if I didn't think it was an important thing to say. Number 2 or number 3 is, we have a lot of fun, and number 3 or number 4, you're all welcome to our deck anytime to see anybody sitting out there. If it's in the morning, we'll be drinking coffee. If not, bad akavit. Oh, well, okay, and some people have no taste, that good akavit. So there you go. So thank you, Egan, wherever you are, buddy. And I'll shut up.
All right, and Nikolaj Frederiksen and Benjamin Krausgaard, can you please, Benjamin as well, I just want to get you up here. I told you I'd put you on the spot, so these 2 guys came from Denmark to be here tonight. They're both veterans, and of all the people we have applauded tonight, these are the guys who deserve the largest round of applause, so let's go for it, right? We are honored to have you here, and I look forward to Nikolaj is going to say some words, so you can just step in here.
Yeah.
Just go for it. And again, thank you.
Thank you very much. It's a great honor for me to stand here today, and it's a very grateful opportunity to speak to you. Thank you for the invitation for this event. This has given me a chance to reflect on things, and the more I think about the Danish-American cooperation, the more grateful I'll be. I had this opportunity to come here today from the Danish Veterans, Wounded Warriors shooting club called Veteranskytterne i Denmark. We are a small club, a civilian club, gathered with wounded warriors from Afghanistan, Iraq, the war on Balkan, and so on. There are co-workers, doctors, nurses, and individuals who has to help with the rehabilitation in our small club, and they have all made it possible for people like Benjamin to come here. Benjamin has also contributed with the exhibition up there. I would therefore like to thank the American people who hosted a memorial ceremony on the 9/11 on Ground Zero in New York last year. We joined that as well. And thank you for attending the Warrior Week in Virginia Beach earlier this year. We have tried to compensate that by inviting wounded American soldiers to our first Warrior Week in Denmark, and we did that just a couple of months ago. It was a big success. I have also regained my previous cooperation with the US SOCOM, the Naval Special Operation Command, and the Air Force Special Operation Command, and I'd like to thank them for the close cooperation with the Danish Navy SOF, the Danish Frogman Corps, Søværnets Frømandskorps. We have done a lot of work with the Naval Special Warfare Groups on each side, East and West Coast, where the SEAL teams are located. There are a lot of courses, programs, exercises that are exchanged, and you have all that knowledge. You can't buy that for money. You have to earn that. We have earned it by participating in Operation Iraqi Freedom in Iraq and Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan shortly after the 9/11. It was also there we find out that we have a shortage on equipment and education, and therefore we became involved in a training and exchange program with the Air Force Special Operation Command in Hulbert, where we got to train as we fight in the places around the world. Therefore, I have a special thanks for Gregory Smith at the 4th Special Operation Squadron, for people like Roy Vaughan, who was funding the training, and Frank Garcia and George Love for conducting good exercises. It was not only military soft units who helped with the training. There was private companies as well. Private companies as Harris Corporation in Rochester, New York, who was training with the communication system. The communication system, we have to use that for, otherwise we have a secrets net, so we can't communicate if we don't have the same equipment. Also thank you for L3 in Salt Lake City, Utah, for training with a video downlink so we can see ice from the sky, and for the AeroVironment for training with the unmanned aircraft system, and a lot of more civilian companies and military units. But the most, not the most, but almost the most, how to say thank you to you Americans. It was for the support of the biggest foreign crisis I have experienced. Was because of the Mohammed cartoons in Denmark. That was a serial of cartoons. I guess the Danes have heard about it, but that was a very bad experience for me at that time, because I was located in Iraq, and we were flashing the big Danish flag on our vehicles and on our uniforms, and they don't like that in Iraq. So I was very happy that the Americans stand behind us. I felt we were like a little bit alone at that time. But the Americans supported Denmark anyway, and we're happy for that. I think we were happy because we have accumulated at least a small credit from Afghanistan and Iraq. However, the dearest American support for me was the receiving help at World War II to Greenland, because I'm born at Greenland. If the American didn't kick out the Germans in Greenland, I guess Greenland would never be Danish, and I wouldn't be here today. So, thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Nikolai. I think the feeling of being alone you talk about is something that this exhibit is going to help Americans not feel. Because this story of partnership and collaboration is exactly what we need to put in front of people, to tell Americans that might feel alone in the world and in the conflicts in the world, that they're not, that Danes stand with them, and that we're partners and we have an alliance. And that's a very important message that I'm very proud that this exhibit can tell. And also in honor of you being here, in honor of all veterans, I do want to announce that obviously tonight is free entrance, but for the duration of this exhibit, and that will be through September 3rd, 2018, all veterans have free entrance to the museum. So I thank you for your service, and that's in honor of you guys that we're doing that. So thank you once again. And if I can get the two veterans, and Lars Bo, where did you run off to?
Bumblebee is just
Oh, you're right. Just blend right in. Harold, Harold Jensen, he's out there in the back.
Rasmus, will du være sød?
Ja, bare kom herop. All right, there you go. So Harold will end these remarks. Oh, careful.
I am pleased on behalf of the citizens of the United States to present the United States flag to these gentlemen, which came from Congressman King's office. The first one is for Benjamin. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service to Denmark. Lars, thank you for your service to both countries.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Harold. And that concludes our remarks. I just encourage you to review the exhibit if you have not already seen it, and enjoy the rest of the museum, and enjoy our refreshments out there. Thank you so much, guys, for coming, and have a wonderful evening.
Come with me? Yes. Okay.
All right, guys, one last thing. Sorry I forgot that. If anyone wants the behind the scenes tours, they can just kind of join Angela over there.